Did you guys know that in the 2023, the NBA paid out over $4.9 billion to its creators? Now I want you guys to imagine, ever since you were a kid in elementary school, you trained yourself up day after day, running laps until you eventually reach the peak human condition to play basketball. You dedicate your entire life to the sport just so you can get to play with globally known players like LeBron James. I think when you put it in that way, $4.9 billion is extremely justified to pay out to around only 580 players. Well, if you think that's a lot, OnlyFans creators made a combined total of $6.6 billion in the same year. And that's without all the insane marketing and nationwide events and sporting brand deals that the NBA has in the US. The NBA, a brand that has dominated American culture since before I was even born, is being outperformed by a porn website that's only been around for about 8 or so years. It doesn't take a genius to see that there's a lot of money to be made using this kind of monetization scheme. And to my surprise, there's only one VTubing agency that's even willing to touch this model of monetization, which is VAllure. VAllure marketed themselves as an ENAV agency looking for VTubers who specialized in adult ASMR and roleplay content. Now, unlike a lot of other smaller agencies that have emerged in the past year, they're actually still alive, and they are growing. Now, it's not the explosive growth that some people might think, because, well, social media is in a race, but I don't think people quite understand how much money it actually takes to run an agency at this scale. Now, their whole content strategy is really brilliant, in my opinion. Typically, when you're running a business, you want the money coming in to be greater than the money going out, which means that you're actually turning a profit. Content creation is a very expensive industry to be in, especially when there's virtually no guarantee that you'll even make money on that piece of content, but the expenses remain the same and will always be consistently high. What makes VAllure different is the type of content they produce. ASMR, for example, is very easy to produce. All you need is the equipment for it, and virtually no video editing is really required, which makes the cost of the main source of entertainment for their viewers to go down drastically. Matter of fact, their main source of revenue isn't even from their YouTube. It's most likely their Patreon, which is what this agency most likely wants you to buy. It's advertised on their most popular platforms such as their YouTube pages. You can find the majority of their lewd ASMR audios on this platform. Now, you might ask, why are they using Patreon instead of a different platform that's more tailored to this specific line of work, like OnlyFans or Fansly, especially with titles like, "Fine, I'll let you f*** my ass, but only if you make out with me first," or "I didn't forget your birthday, silly. I'm milking every last drop of you tonight." Well, there's a couple of reasons I can think of, but the first reason is most likely money. On Patreon's base plan, they only take 5 to 12% according to what tier you select on all purchases made. Now, this is in contrast to OnlyFans and Fansly taking a whopping 20% of your revenue. After looking through all their Patreons, they all upload the same exact content, and you get to enjoy one of the 6 different flavors of lewd ASMR. Also, since Patreon is generally known as a more socially acceptable platform that many users go to for safe for work content, they're actually allowed to advertise it freely on their social media pages, such as their YouTube. This direct traffic to their page allows for them to directly turn their YouTube audience into paying Patreon subscribers. The second reason is because you aren't actually allowed to link or even mention you have a Fansly account on many social media websites like Twitch. Of course, people have always found ways around this by calling these websites by terms such as the blue site, which typically means Fansly and not actually Blue Sky, which is what some people might lead to believe. Also, not blatantly advertising yourself as having a blue website lets you associate with more of the mainstream audience and lets you potentially work with bigger brands in the future. Not very likely, but some chance is better than no chance. They also happen to all have NSFW Twitter accounts where they like to make funny, edgy, sexual jokes to their audience. I kind of find it funny to look at the follower accounts of their NSFW accounts as compared to their non-NSFW accounts. Let the numbers speak for themselves. Now, those two reasons I mentioned earlier are typically all the reasons I could find why they primarily use Patreon as their main source of income, until I found their Fansly account. So it turns out all of them are double dipping when it comes to both of these services. Fansly does provide some sort of account discovery by using a For You page and recommendations, but in exchange for that, they take an overall bigger percentage. It also looks like they are offering the same exact tiers as seen on their Patreon. I believe that using this unique business model is what allows VAllure to stay afloat while providing their talents with a very high percentage of the cuts that they make from their income from all of their sources like YouTube, Patreon, and merch. I believe that all the sales from their merch are given directly to their talents as well, which is kind of crazy. Something I would want to see them do in the future would be to perhaps get into something outside of ASMR. Maybe using some kind of 3D models and dancing, like how VR chat VTubers do. I don't know, I'm just kind of spitballing here. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye.